Good morning, g'day. It's Fish the Beach Bum Investor. Bit of a rusty Fish the Beach Bum Investor this morning. I had the Gold Coast bodyboarding presentations last night, so things got a little wild afterwards. A lot of fun though. I'm just going to pop over to the chat and see who's in today, because it takes me about 5 minutes to actually achieve that. Con Savage Ruthless. That's a surprise to see you in first. Just kidding, man. Good to see you. Hey, Jace. How are you, man? I surfed over at Froggy's yesterday, Jace. Have you surfed there before, man? It's probably a place I'm not going to take you out. Yesterday, this is what happened to me. I lost a fin on my first wave, and then the power of the Froggy's wave destroyed my leash, ripped it straight off the board. Yeah, I got pummeled out there yesterday. Went out with Matt Brocky, who you guys heard on the stream yesterday. We chose Froggies, and it was heavy waves. It's good fun though. And funnily enough, when my board got ripped up, it ended up a good 150 meters away from where I was, and in behind a rock pool at Snapper Rocks. And funnily enough, when I went in, paddled in, finally got in, got my board, picked up my board, and my fin, which I'd lost, was sitting right next to it. I was just like, that's amazing. So I was stoked. You got married at Froggy's, Jace. Yeah, it's a beautiful spot, man. Absolutely beautiful spot, but it's a hectic break. It's probably the heaviest wave on the Gold Coast. That and South Australia are probably the heaviest waves on the Gold Coast. So yeah, man, it's a ruthless wave. It's a testing ground for all the groms. But Matt Brocky was acting like a grom out there yesterday, all bloody 100 kilos of him, acting like we were 12 years old again, taking off on wedges and absolutely destroying himself on some waves. So we copped a good flogging yesterday. It was a good workout. And then, yeah, enjoyed my night at the Gold Coast bodyboarding presentations. 3 in a row. Got first place. Sick little trophy, actually. Little bodyboard. Do a big invert. Oh, I'm a drop knee rider, so I don't really do inverts. But, yeah, I was stoked at that. And thanks very much to you guys. You got to see this. Am I seeing double? No. Dave gave us a new board as well. Thanks to Dave Winchester, who's a massive supporter of bodyboarding in general, and also Gold Coast Bodyboarding Club. A really, really good guy. Really down-to-earth, nice guy. And, yeah, I've got the pleasure of riding another DK snub nose. So, second one to add to the rack. We'll have to get that put up. Chad was talking about getting a full-length PIVX, like a PIVX Panther surfing sticker, like full length made up for it. So that'd be cool. I think we're going to do that. Anyway, trophy for the oldest rider. Piss off, Z. I'm still number 1 on the Gold Coast despite my age, my friend. Well, number 1 in competitive surfing. We still have Matt Lackey here, who's a bit of a world legend. That's all I heard when I was at the World Championship. They're like, where's Matt Lackey? Where's Matt Lackey? Hey, MS Bit ETH. Good to see you. Yeah, so let's get off bodyboarding because greetings from Texas. Crypto Chronicus, how are you? Everyone's starting to join in for the conversation. Obviously, all intrigued about, don't give me number 1 senior surfer, Jace. I'm 35. Kelly Slater's 43. Got a few years left in me yet. My body's hurting a little bit, but that's probably because I had 5 beers last night and I'm not a drinker. Hey, TNC, good to see you. CG Bacon. What do I think about Ether right now? Let's have a look. Get us back onto crypto chat. Well done. We will have a talk a bit about the forks today as well. I've got all these free coins showing up in my account. I'm seeing Bitcoin Gold appearing on CoinMarketCap. It's an interesting time in the economy. My personal opinion is the forks aren't good for the economy. Adds too much confusion to BTC itself. Newbies coming in don't know what to think. Wow. $280 billion. 21 million club, Bitcoin to the moon. I would say it's just about halfway there. Do I think it'll fall lower than 450 today, CJ Bacon? I'd have to have a look, man. I don't think there's any news coming out, but I said yesterday when it was hitting 490, 480, whatever it was on the show, I said I won't be surprised. This would probably go down to 450 and maybe even 400. So, look, I think long term, you're safe buying now for the long term. Short term's always hard to predict in this market. Ether should go to 600, TNC said. I've always predicted a ratio of 5 Ether to 1 Bitcoin. Agent Smith said, rocket, 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 rocket. Good to see you, Agent Smith. I took a leaf out of your book last night, man. Got a few beers into me. Got a little bit loose down at Eddie's Grub House down at Coolangatta on Griffith Street. It's a great night. Good fun. Hang out with Tyson Ryan, my housemate, and Jibber and Brett Dalton, a few of the guys, Brazzy, a few of the guys from the bodyboarding club. So it was a good night. A lot of fun. And it was, of course, there was a lot of crypto chat actually in between it, because as I told you guys, Simo, one of the bodyboarders, had bought an Ether, you know, $300 or whatever it was, and he told the story again last night about how he had a chance to get in 2010 on Bitcoin, so he just grabbed an Ether, and he goes, "Oh, I got this morning, I was doing this." I said, "Yeah, man, it's good." Crypto Chronicus, I don't like to talk certainties in this market. Crypto Chronicus's opinion is that Bitcoin is 1 trillion market cap, looking like almost a certainty. I like how you put almost in there. I'm actually making memes now, got 4 social media ready to go. Look, Bitcoin, I think, will always hold a place in the market, but I think it's going through a time of danger. And the reason being is that Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Gold for mine are altcoins. They're relatively new altcoins, okay? And they've taken the liberty of taking the Bitcoin prefix to increase their popularity. Why are they valued where they are? Bitcoin Gold, it's GPU mining, right? For Bitcoin. What is better about that than Vertcoin with Ether mining and you know, ASIC resistant mining? What is better about, why is Bitcoin Gold a $6 billion valuation? Because it's got the name Bitcoin, which anyone can use. We're going to do Bitcoin Cheetah. Might as well. You know what I mean? That's my personal opinion. Everyone's going to have a different opinion on that. And again, I've given my opinions for Bitcoin Cash simply being an altcoin. The Bitcoin community vote was had, and the consensus was that SegWit was going to be put in. Yeah, no, it won't, because people will learn. Crypto Chronicus said, moving forward, I don't think future Bitcoin branded coins will get as much attention. No, you're right, because people will learn. The same way that people are learning with ICOs about how to value them, about how to weed out the crap ones from the good ones. It's a learning space for everyone because it's such an emerging industry. There's not many people who have been in it a long, long time. Cheers. I don't know which part, but I like when people agree with me. So thank you, 21 Million Club. Yeah, so I think it's unhealthy to have Bitcoin forks. I wish there was some way we could say, well, it's, you know, as a crypto community, say, nah, we're not allowing it. If you're going to fork, you call yourself something else. You have the respect to say we're going a different way because Bitcoin has flaws and therefore we don't want to be associated with the name Bitcoin. Have the balls to do it. Don't just call yourself Bitcoin and trade off the fact that the newbies like the name. That's what Tan C's just said. Back me up completely. Stop putting Komodo out there and Cheetah Coin, Agent Smith. We will have a look at Komodo. Everything's had a good run up, so we'll have a look at everything. Oh, excellent. Seb Fox, I've always backed the Binance trading platform. Matter of fact, I sent a letter through to their head marketing, the head of marketing today, as a representative of PIVX, trying to negotiate some of the value that I can add to Binance Exchange. So, I mean, my last Binance trading video, guys, I'm not a big YouTube player, and for me to get into the thousands in my videos is big. So, obviously, they're going to be reasonably popular videos, and I would love to continue to do my training videos on the Binance platform. If I can do that with PIVX, I can do pretty much every video. But while PIVX is not available, I can't. So let's make Bitcoin fish. I don't know about that, Crypto Chronicus. Agent Smith said, use my Binance link. I would disagree with Agent Smith and ask you to use my Binance link, which is in the description of this video. What's going on? Hey. How's the surf?
Yeah, Kira's on the cook.
Kira's on the cook, for anyone interested. Kira, great surfing spot, not far from here. Binance should get more users because of the Bittrex announcement. Yeah, and you know what happened with me on Bittrex this morning as well? My buy orders cancelled themselves. I don't know if that's a time thing that I'd never noticed before, but sell orders just cancelled one after the other. I'm like, what's going on here? Bitcoin Fish is the true vision of Satoshi. Well, I'm not arrogant enough to, well, I have been on several occasions arrogant enough to speak to the vision of Satoshi, but no, I wouldn't do that. I mean, PIVX is a great alternative if you're looking for an alternative for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a great coin. If you're looking for an alternative, we are about as alternative from Bitcoin as you can get. We work on a proof of stake model, not a proof of work model. We govern by consensus based on the community, not based on the will of a few or the will of a smaller group. So yeah, PIVX is about, like, they're both great crypto, but they're about as far away from each other as you can get, which is why I love being with PIVX, because it is an actual alternative to Bitcoin. Like I say, if you're going to do something different, do it different and have the balls to call yourself something different. Sorry if I'm being offensive with that use of language. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe, I sent an email to that, or I sent a message to one of the leaders of that thing that we're looking at getting into. I picked up some Neo, so I'm ready to go if we do get into it. BNB will go up. I have no doubt about it, man. Yeah, Binance also do airdrops. They're a good platform. The one thing they're not doing is listing PIVX. PIVX is a quality coin. Love to be on the Binance platform. Do all my training videos on Binance then if PIVX was on there. GB Capital thinks proof of stake is the future. I think it is as well. I think it's less wasteful. Like it's more economical. It's more efficient than proof of work. Bittrex cancelled any orders older than a certain time. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Seb Fox. That explains it. They made some kind of statement about that. They were going to cancel orders older than a certain time from the order books. Thanks very much, Seb Fox. Keeping me up to date. Good on you, bro. Crypto Care, yeah, cool, sounds good. XLM, Agent Smith. Let's have a look at Komodo first, man, since you called that one out first. And I might look at XLM if you're lucky. You don't get 2 picks in a show. Don't be silly, Agent Smith. I got a nice little bag for this Monet's ICO. Like, not a huge bag, but it's not bad. Building up a nice little bag for this Monet's ICO, Agent Smith. You got to keep an eye on that for me, bro. Tell me when that announcement comes out. We've got 2 weeks. Once the announcement comes out. I won't be buying any more once the announcement comes out because I think it'll, wow, it's already run up. $2.67, 266, 267. Being the bid and the ask, it's, you know, 29,990. So it's around the 30,000 mark if you're using round figures in Satoshi mark. Really, really strong. Really strong. It's good to see the altcoin market actually going with Bitcoin this time. That seems to be what's happened a lot more. Yeah, looking good. Looking good, Smitty. Smitty. Agent Smitty. All right, looking good, man. Got a nice run up on that. All right, I'm going to have a look at the rest of the market. I'm going to have a look over that. I've given you a little bit of my opinion on the Bitcoin forkings. We had a look at Ether. As I said, the rest of the market's going pretty good. Ripple up. Litecoin, $87. Shout out to AccuFive. I know he's not listening at the moment, but he called this a while ago. He got very bullish on Litecoin, explained to us his reasoning behind mining. He is a miner himself and has some mining experience. So he was able to give us an insight of a miner and why the hashing power would return to Litecoin, thus increasing its value. So yeah. Well done to AccuFive, and well done to all the crypto wave investment crew have been calling that from $50, $55. As soon as it dipped below that $60 mark, we just went, nah, let's do it. Bitcoin is rebranded. Do you know what they've rebranded to, Jace? To Ethos, IX. I don't mind that. That's the that's a exchange, right? It's a decentralized exchange, isn't it? Can you confirm that for me? Because, you know, you've got 1,000 cryptos you're keeping an eye on. You can get one confused. Anyway, I'll keep looking. Dash has been ridiculous. Well over $600 now, 628. Monero very strong still. Oh, Neo was actually pretty good for me because I started picking it up just based on the fact that I might want to get into that ICO. And I figured, you know what, long term, I tell everyone it's still reasonable. You know, it's still good buying. Long term, and if I take a run down on it, I don't mind because I'm sure there'll be a Neo ICO that I'm interested in the future. So for me, I thought I'll start stocking up now. So I've actually had a pretty good run up just on the fact I was buying around the $35 mark, which I said I wouldn't buy it unless it got below 25. And here I am buying it at 35. How quickly things change. QSP chart looks like an early OMG chart. Hey, that's interesting. All right, let's have a look at it. QSP chart. I'm so hungover. I don't drink. Yeah, we heard about Quantstamp. Isn't Quantstamp the file storage? Oh no, was that one? I can't remember. Mine's a little shaken this morning. Wabi ICO should be huge. Yeah, we've been talking about that on the. We've been talking about that on the Discord group a bit, man. Zhao's a big fan of that one. It won the developers conference, didn't it? That was the one that won the developers conference. Wabi ICO should be huge. Good thing it is the scaling price compared to Ether price. Gladius are not scaling. Even Ether goes to 600. Yeah, no, I know that, TNC. The good thing is though, Gladius did actually basically halve their. Well, not basically. They did halve their hard cap. So. Keeping things relative, it's actually still a good investment from where we initially assessed it. I'm just catching up with the chat here, guys. Joe said, pretty sure the Neo volume is from ICO. Man, it's a big market to be affected by that ICO. They're not trying to raise that much, dude. Although if a lot of people are trying to get in. Paddy's in the house. Oh, guess what, guys? You know, I told that story about my board getting snapped off at Froggy's yesterday. Paddy was the one who found it. Paddy was standing up on the rocks at Froggy's. That's P. Austin in the chat there. And I'll come in and I just hear this, fish, fish, and he's just pointing to this board behind there. So, yeah, good to see you, Paddy. Ethos, man, I'm going to have to look more into it. I don't know why I thought it was a... Let's have a look now. I should be able to quickly go to the website and double check. Paddy thinks it's a mining pool. Let's have a look, Paddy. I'm so rusty after that Gold Coast bodyboarding presentation last night, Pat. Bretty Dalton led the crew astray. You know what Brett Dalton's like. He's got kids. He's married. When he gets a night out, he says, let's make the most of it. All right, checking the website for Ethos. Sorry to have my catch up with my mates in between crypto chat. Paddy's a great guy. For those of you interested, legend of D-Bar and the Southern Gold Coast. Ethos. Unlock the future of investment and power the world. Our mission is to make the daunting cryptocurrency market accessible to everyone, accelerate adoption of blockchain technology, and democratize ownership of cryptocurrencies. Ethos harnesses the power of design, technology, and social intelligence to create a breakthrough solution that will enable everyone to participate in the new economy. We're putting the power in the hands of the people, where it belongs. Join us. Yeah, it's a universal wallet meets superpowered digital currency dashboard meets social network. So I think it is actually trading, like exchange. Cold storage, managed keys, software interface, altcoins, ERC20 tokens. Yeah, it's like a multi-wallet and exchange, I think. I'd have to look further into it, Paddy. I'll do that when I'm not so hungover. Oh, Wabi says the whitelist is closed. Can someone explain what that means? Jace, usually that means we've either missed the deadline, man, or it's actually already oversubscribed. Smart contract security. Okay. I have to read more into it. Oh, what Neo ICO? We're looking at one. It's on our Discord group, TNC. We're not releasing it publicly because it looks like it's going to be a sellout. So it's on our Discord group if you want to have a look, man. It's the most recent channel to be added. We're looking at doing a group investment on it. Crypto Chronicus. When parity hack happened on ETH, I kind of thought whales might be like, whoa, not putting my money in there. But then I realized how easy it is for Ether to just fork and recover those hacked coins. Paddy Austin smiled. Paddy Austin is one of the few people who actually giggles when he's on a wave. He loves bodyboarding that much. Sorry, Paddy, dropped in it there. QSP is security for and auditing for smart contracts. It is supposed to make smart contracts more efficient to develop, secure, and manage. Could be good for Ether smart contract adoption. Cool. Yeah, closed yesterday. That's referring to the Wabi ICO. Thank you, TNC. Fish, the ICO for Wabi is on the 28th, but it says the whitelist is closed. Yeah, okay. I'd say it's oversubscribed if they've closed the the ability to get into the whitelist. Dragon Slayer miners, never heard of them. Not a miner. Ask Grinkers. Grinkers is our resident mining expert. GB Capital 890 over. Oh, for Bitcoin. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the economy. See how it's tracing along. Oh, I can't even find coin market cap. It is going to be a struggle today. Hello, Tilly. All right. Yeah, nice. 8861. Wow. Wow. All-time highs, 281. I think I saw the market cap as high as 283. I can't remember exactly, but it's pretty close to that. Just going to check out the last hour, as I like to do, see which way it's trending. You got it from the Discord call, man. Yeah, it's a good-looking project. You look at that team, TNC. Remember what I always say, we've got to research the team that we're investing in. That team is strong, and I really want to get into it. So if you're interested in getting in on that group investment that we're doing, please message. What we're doing is we're just like pledging how much NEO we'd like to invest in that, because it is a NEO-based ICO. So if you're interested in getting in that as part of the Discord group investment, the same way we did with Gladius, you are certainly welcome to. Just pledge the amount of NEO. If we get to the soft cap, we'll go ahead and pull that trigger. That's how it works. But please research it heavily. Make sure you're comfortable with the, you know how to do investments, guys. You got to, the money's tear up and throw away. You're never going to see it again. That's the mentality you've got to have behind it. And you've got to believe in the project. Don't just jump in because everyone else is and because we've done well on ICOs in the past. Don't do that. That's sheep mentality will get you nowhere. All right, keep going down before Fishy gets in the habit of going into massive rants. Yeah, so NEO's up 10% in the last 24 hours. The top of the market's bleeding a little bit in the last hour. Just those top 10. But the rest of the market, or top 20 really, but the rest of the market is quite a good mix of green and red. So it still looks like I like this sort of market action where actual coins are being taken on their individual merits instead of just the whole market pumping this way, the whole market dropping. That never makes any sense to me. So, yeah. GB Capital's got into B3. Now, this is interesting because Crypto K got into B3 and Crypto K didn't do so good in B3, but GB Capital's bought at lows. So will GB Capital be able to regain that? It's going to be an interesting one. I haven't looked too much into B3 because I found the hey Grinkers, I found the inflation rates to be a bit excessive. The Dragon Mint 16T miner is the world's most efficient Bitcoin miner, running faster and cooler than any competing miners. It's the culmination of over 12 months of research and development, which has resulted in major advancements in mining technology, including a brand new generation of ASIC mining chips. The DM8575 ASIC runs at a staggering 85 GH per chip, with power efficiency of around 0.075 J/GH. Yeah, I knew all that. Tell me something I don't know. I'm joking. I got no idea about mining. I don't know what any of those words I've just read out meant. But thank you for the information, Crypto Chronicus. You ramble worse than fish. You've bought and staked. Oh, you've bought and staked B3 because they're going to burn it. Yeah, I haven't looked enough into it, man. I am so heavily invested. I'm so heavily diversified at the moment. The last thing I need is another coin on my bloody portfolio to keep an eye on. So good on you, Z. So that's a couple of you in B3. There you go, Z and GB Capital to the investment crew in. Typical Canadian. Check out what Jace says. Jace goes, Fish, to help you with your hangover, the best thing you could do would be to drink more. It will take away your hangover and make you feel better. Thank you for the typically Canadian response. Caesar, anyone? Clamato juice with bloody vodka. Yuck. The info means it's more efficient in Bitmain and it's only $15.95. I did actually see something about that. I saw it. I think it might have been Coin Mastery who actually had that on his show. One of the YouTubers I watched was talking about mining. Can't remember who it was because I tend to tune out a little bit. Drink some SoCo. I don't know what SoCo is. Surf. Honestly, it's the best thing for a hangover. Dip your head under that ocean and it's all gone. At least that's the way it used to work when I was 21. I don't drink much. That's why it's affecting me. I literally had, I think I had 3 stubbies or 4 stubbies and 2 or 3 pints when we went out afterwards. Yes, but I'm 70 kilos. It's about like 150 pounds for those of you in the US. I'm not exactly a massive guy. All right, you guys are all talking mining rigs. I'm going back to the economy. I don't feel included in that conversation. All right, let's have a look. Lisk is one it's been fluctuating a bit more heavily, but $8. The interesting thing is last night. Now, this is an interesting sort of connection. The guy who really first got me into Bitcoin was not actually my cousin who was on the Bitcoin board, believe it or not. The first guy who got me into Bitcoin was a guy called Josh Cox. He's a bodyboarder. And he asked me out at D-Bar one day, Fish, what do you think of Bitcoin? And I was doing, you guys know the story probably, I was doing stocks and commodities and fiat. And I said, no, don't waste my time. I've got real things to look at. And then I thought I was being rude, so I went and looked at it, and one thing led to another. Anyway, Joshy Cox has a mate who basically collects money for people and helps them get it into Bitcoin as his way of helping people in. And he's been doing that for a while, and he's got a lot of connections and the rest of it. And Joshy was over at the house last night because we were celebrating after the event, and he said to me, oh, he's got this other one now that he's collecting for. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, so it's not Bitcoin now, what's the next one? And it's good market research because it lets me know what the wider public are doing. And the answer he came up with, and he goes, oh, bring up that thing, and he looked through it, oh, that's it, Lisk. And I said, yeah, Lisk is a good project. So we've been calling that for a while. So it's interesting to hear that there's a guy in Australia actually collecting money from the public who don't know about crypto and helping them invest it, not only into Bitcoin, but now into Lisk as well. Hangovers are all about dehydration. You should get on the Gatorade. That's what Seth Fox said, and that's very true. Dehydration is the major cause of the hangover. All right, cool. Yeah, so Lisk is, I think it's good. I think it's a good long-term buying. Look what's happened with other quality DApp projects. They've had good times. Lisk has already had a good time, mind you. But, you know, it's down 14.76% over the last 7 days. And I know it went for a huge spike up to like 1150 to get that retracement, but still they're the sort of figures we do look for if we're trying to get into a coin that we feel like we missed out on the absolute lows, you know, $2 and that sort of thing when I started feeling like it was a good project. Yeah, cool. Keep looking down the market. Waves is one that's getting talked about a whole lot more, and obviously the Crypto Wave investment crew should have been on that at $3 just for the name, if nothing else. No, you should never invest just on the name. But the Waves, you know, the Waves wallet works well. I checked mine this morning. Mrs. Smith in the house. Goodness gracious me. Are you keeping Agent Smith in check? I hope so. I find it suspicious that you two are not there together, though. Interesting. I reckon Agent Smith just dresses up as Mrs. Smith. All right, moving on. Hey, 10x. I'm going to brag. I'm going to brag. Do you guys remember when I said, oh, remember one day you'll say, Fish, did you really get 10x at $1.50? And I'll say, yes, I did. I think I'm pretty safe to say that now. It's above $2, and I think that's going to act as support. I think anytime it dips below 2 now, it's going to be seen as too cheap. Had a 20% gain in the last 7 days, and actually 0.69% of that has come in the last 24 hours. So yeah, solid gains off the $1.50 lows for 10x. People are starting to receive those cards. That's the anecdotal evidence that is put out there on social media. So it's looking like a good long-term project. I think it was perhaps overvalued for its stage of development up at those $4 price points. But as 10x continues to be developed, it will be worthy of those $4 price points. As more people use it, more cards are sent out, as their reward systems come in place for spending. It's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to the development of 10x and the pay token. We see Komodo. Steam's back above $1 finally. It should be a lot higher than that, guys. Social media platform. I know it's going to have some challenges, but it's got first in market and blockchain, because it's not, I mean, Facebook and MySpace and all those other Insta pages and Snappygrams and all that sort of thing came first. So I'm kidding, of course, but shows my knowledge of social media. Stop, Agent Smith, you're a dickhead. Mr. Smith, please pull him into line. Agent Smith just said, oh, we'll get to $1 Verge. When? Don't just shill Verge. Ethercept's been doing work for them and he doesn't even bloody shill it that hard. Oh, he does actually. Oh, then I scrolled up the chat and there's Ethercept going, has anyone mentioned Verge yet? Good to see Ethercept. Yeah, so yeah, I think long-term Steam's going to be worth a lot more because it's got first in market on blockchain social media platforms. As far as I'm aware, it's the first. It's a good one anyway. I still enjoy posting there. I haven't been doing as much of it lately and I really need to get more into it because my posts are actually starting to become quite successful off the back of Zhao managing my media. Oi, fish mate, I'm going to order legend nat. Oh, I had to do it, Joe. I had to do it in the Aussie accent. Oi, fish mate. Oi, fish mate, I'm going to order a legend nanos if you're interested to cut down the price of shipping. Oh, yeah, cool. Cool, Joe. I'll hit you up on Messenger. So I don't think I've got your number. I've got you on Messenger though, haven't I? Sure I have. I'll hit you up on Discord. Easy. It's easy in on Verge as well. He wants to go to $1 as well. Yeah, I want to go to $1. I've got a nice little bag. If it went to $1, I'd be extraordinarily happily. Sweet as, bro. Sweet as, bro. No, that's sweet as, bro, is New Zealand. I was doing the Aussie accent, which I should be good at, considering I was born here and lived most of my life here. Trezor has buy two, get one free deal right now. Cool. Beach Daz brew. Yeah, oh, the Beach Daz whale. I can actually show that with screen share, but you guys really want to sit here and watch something you can look up yourself later? Probably yes, instead of watching new fish, we'll take that. Bad luck. I'm going to keep talking crypto. Hey, one that I've been getting more bullish on as I realize it's undervalued. I think both for the state, like I really do. I think it's undervalued. And it's one that I've been getting more interested in as we talk about resource sharing. Have you guys seen the run up on Substratum? Guys, we got into Substratum at ICO, and Substratum was one of our successful ICO investments that we got into as a group. Thank you again to Cranky Pete, the legend who found Substratum for us. Now, I think we originally purchased that at around the 6 cents mark, and it's now sitting at 33 cents. That's a 5Xer, guys. It'd be 4 or 5X. I can't remember exact price, but 135% in the last 7 days. But that's why I'm getting more bullish on shared resources, okay, in the digital economy. So if you think about Substratum doing extremely well, you think about the Gladius ICO starting to raise some real capital. By the way, over $6.6 million raised last time I checked in. Remember, there is a $12.5 million hard cap on that one. So, yeah, there might not be all the time in the world left. How's the beach?
Feels good.
Sweet. Yeah, shared resources, Substratum, Gladius, and that's why I'm actually getting more bullish on Golem. Golem is essentially using shared resources for, I'm not sure the exact term, okay, because I'm not a computer person, but I know like for rendering, which I'm actually familiar with now because I'm editing my own videos like a boss. That's going to be accessible. So big companies like Pixar, for example, would be able to use, there's things called rendering farms, and they charge a lot of money for the compute processing power. I think that's what it is, processing power. And they charge a lot of money for the use of that processing power for things like rendering in producing animated footage or things like that. So what this would essentially do is allow, again, that shared infrastructure mentality, which blockchain does allow. It would allow that shared infrastructure to be used for increased or massive amounts of processing power. So at a much, much cheaper rate than rendering farms are currently offering. So it's technology that could see rendering farms rendered obsolete. And if that's the case, you're talking big money. So yeah, I'm starting to get more bullish on that. It's just one I've been looking at. Distributed processing power, yeah. Thank you, Ethercept. I've got the right idea, man. I just don't know the words. I'm not a computer person. Golem sounds cool. You can just rent from Amazon. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see which is more economical. I've heard it's going to be more economical than Amazon. That's like in the research I've been doing. Hey, Kev, haven't seen you in ages. Should I use Free Wallet to get my Bitcoin gold? I've got to admit ignorance to that question, man. I don't know what Free Wallet is. Can anyone help out Kev, guys? You know, we do this as a group. I can't have all the answers. So if anyone can help out Kev, please put it in the chat. I know we've got Ethercept in. He's pretty savvy with his tech. Got a few in here that are pretty savvy with the tech. All right, GB Capital's going to continue shilling his own coin in the true spirit of the crypto wave investment crew. Each individual shilling their own coin. By the way, PIVX, no. B3 is first of its kind, introducing fundamental nodes similar to masternodes. Proof of stake coin with SegWit enabled next year. Thank you, GB Capital. I'm going to call you GB3 now, just because it's the B3. Yep, I am. That's your new nickname, GB3. Crypto Chronicus, Kev Ha, careful. Yeah, Kev's HA, that's his name. So Crypto Chronicus is just helping out Kev, and for any of you watching this later, Kev, careful with who and how you share your private keys. I used a Trezor, and they give you a coin splitting tools, which worked flawlessly for me. Thanks, Crypto Chronicus. That's cool. Kev said, I see. I have them on my laptop, except it's hard to know how to best keep Otis safe. Wonder if hardware is really necessary. Everyone's liking the name GB3 for his nickname. All right, we're going with it. It's a new nickname. Sorry, GB Capital, you walked straight into that one. Even Agent Ripple said so. Oh, joking. Sorry, I'll call you Agent Komodo. That's actually a wicked name. You're now Agent Komodo, and we got GB3. Agent Komodo, that's sick. All right, I'm going to have a look at PIVX because that's my prerogative. As a PIVX representative and someone who's very happy with their gains in the last 24 hours, good to see us well above that $3 period. I did suggest that below $3 was an insult, considering the teething issues we'd had with Zero Coin Protocol. We never got hacked. We never lost coins. I thought it was a bit of a harsh response from the market, and it's good to see that correcting now in the upward direction. So PIVX at $3.26. Just having a look now. Sorry, where is it? Yep, $3.26, up 6.72% in the last 24 hours, taking us to 6.5% over the last 7 days. So good to see for PIVX holders. I know that. What is going on? Something just spoke to me. That was really weird. All right. Yeah, I know that Bo Vosh, one of our technical analysts in our crypto wave investment crew, he had a good run. He had a good investment on PIVX at 35, I think 35,000 flat in terms of Satoshi. We'll just have a look at the actual Satoshi value, because with that Bitcoin run up, you got to keep things relative to both US dollars and Bitcoin, because it's important to do both. BTC, not BTC, PIVX. PIVX. See, Binance, if you were to add PIVX to your platform, instead of showing Bittrex like this, I could be showing Binance, but I can't do that, can I? Fishy, you're getting cheeky. But it makes sense. Binance is a community-based exchange, right? They listen heavily to what the community wants. PIVX is a community-based coin. Marriage made in heaven. $3.27, 37,000 lat as the Satoshi price. So yeah, I mean, that's good gains for, I think it was about $2.80 in fiat and 35,000 Satoshi when Bo Bosch bought it. So great to see one of our investment crew pulling the trigger at a really, really good time there on the PIVX investment. He'll be staking those coins too. He's quite good with the crypto economy. So he'll be staking those coins already and earning his residual income. So that's great. Going to get Wilkie up and staking as well for his PIVX because he's been missing out. Going to get everyone set up, all sorted. Ethercept is very good with this stuff. So I'm just going to read this comment. If using a node wallet, empty BTC first to the new node or core wallet, then import private keys into BTG, supporting SPV wallet to get BTG. Excellent. Not sure what that means. Cryptoconicus at Fish. That talking was your accessibility mode activate for hearing or vision impaired. Okay. I'm not either. You need me to show you how to live stream you overlaid on your laptop screen. Yeah, man, I want to do that. Because you know what I can do? I can just flat out have bodyboarding in the background. I'll get like a whole clip of bodyboarding. You guys will love that. That's all I'll have in the background. Honestly, that is literally all I'll have in the background if you teach me how to do the green screen stuff. Just sold some EOS on a high, looking to buy in again, 10% lower, says Mark G. And how are you, Mark? How are those Leafs going, man? They had any games recently? Mark's EOS trying to buy 10% lower. That could be a dangerous game trying to predict the dips to that with that certainty. I know I burnt Wilkie once on PIVX before when he dumped the crap out of it and then had to buy it back a little bit higher. One of his rare trading losses. And then, you know, those days do come. It happened to me with Now. I dumped at 10. And it never came back again. Took a little dip. I thought I was doing the right thing. Oh, gone. Oh, they're playing now? Oh, again. Sorry, not again. I gotcha. You love hearing Fish talk technicals. Oh, mate, I can do the Fish and Archie sequence all day. It changes day to day as well. Leafs are down 3-0, if anyone's wondering. So it's not a good run for the Leafs, having recently been beaten by the lowest team in the league after winning 6 straight. You like how I've become an expert in Canadian ice hockey all of a sudden? Oh, Capitals, I reckon, has 2 goals. Yeah, he's he's a great player. Just joking, I have no idea. Crypto Chronicles has been trading PIVX and made 10% each time. Yeah, it has a pretty good range once it gets above the $3 mark. But I think once we're added to, I just would say if you are looking to bag hold at Crypto Chronicles, and I hope that's at least part of your plan, just be a little bit careful with the sells with the Upbit, exchange listing imminent. I don't know exact dates, man. I haven't had that confirmed, but the rumor was within a week. And if that happens, PIVX to KRW is going to be big. Korean One drives this market. So yeah, that's my personal opinion, man. You got to make your own decisions, but great to see you making some profit there. Kev, but Bitcoin Diamond's already here, man. I've got some. When's it? Let me have a look. Have a look at my exchange. Bitcoin Diamond. Yeah, I've already got it, and it's already been. I don't know if it's been traded yet. Let me see if I can get on. This time I am using the Binance exchange, even though there's no PIVX on there. I'm going to rabbit on about this until you do it, so you might as well just add PIVX. I am so annoying. Binance, you have no idea how annoying I can be. The guys watching here do. They know exactly how annoying I can be. But Binance, you have no idea. So let's just add PIVX to Binance already. All right. I'm having a look and seeing if I can find a a Bitcoin diamond trade. I don't even know the trade symbol. I got so sick of looking at these forks. Like I said, I just see them as rip-offs. It's Bitcoin diamond. Is it even here? I'm gonna have a look at the trade signal first. Hang on. Yeah, PIVX staking's about 5%, bro. Cryptochronic is 5% per annum. Nice little. Depends on whether you're staking at masternode or staking level, but there's not a huge difference between the two. I think if you said roughly 5%, you're being fairly fair. Just trying to find the trade symbol here. So it's BCD for Bitcoin Diamond, at least on Binance, which hasn't added PIVX yet. Told you I can be annoying. Just wait one moment. What do we got? Agent Smith said, "What? Another fork came out? Yo, I need to dump this shit." I think that's how a lot of people feel, man. But you know, even some people in our own investment group started trading it. So I was like, "Oh, geez, really? I don't know. Not for me." Bitcoin Diamond. Let's see if I can find it. What did I say? B, a C. So B for Bravo, a C for Charlie, D for Delta. I'm just seeing if I can find it here. Because Binance have given me coins, but we're like, be able to trade them. BCC, A and B. Here's the alphabetical section. Yeah, it's up there. Bitcoin Diamond and Bitcoin is being traded at Binance, for those of you interested. The Binance platform. And by the way, if you're not currently using the Binance platform because they haven't got PIVX, that's understandable. But if you do want to get over there and use it, you can use my referral link or Agent Smith's referral link. Use mine. But no, in all seriousness, it is being traded. There's your market, guys. Opened up now. Huge upward trend there. It's just going to be an absolute massive altcoin based off the fact that they're trading on bloody Bitcoin's popularity again. My Lambo's blue, man. You got to get the blue. What are you guys talking about? Just by owning 10,000 PIVX, do you qualify for residual income, or do you have to actively stake it somewhere? Mark G, you have to actively stake it. And you don't need a full 10,000 to start staking, man. You can stake with one PIVX. Mrs. Smith, you are still here. I'm sorry that I've not been paying more attention to you. Mrs. Smith, is there any coins in particular that you'd like to take a look at? I should have said ladies first. My sincere apologies. I just don't like Agent Smith, so. Yeah, you got to set up a masternode, exactly. Ether said you can stake with any amount. Yep, thanks for clarifying. That's exactly right. And if anyone needs help with that, obviously, I can help with more of the simple stuff. Even for a computer idiot, I've become quite familiar with PIVX wallet fixes and things like that, and downloading the core wallet. A few little things that I can do now with PIVX. So if you do need help, contact me, because if I'm not capable of doing it myself, I can get one of our core PIVX team to give you a hand. We've got a couple of developers over there, a couple of community members who are really, really helpful people. So personal friends of mine, and I'm happy to put you in contact with them if you're having any difficulties. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I still got Vertcoin. I'm a long-term bag holder on Vertcoin, Jace, because I believe that the technology is as good as Litecoin, if not better, and I believe that they've got a building community. Yeah, so I'm pretty bullish on it still. I know I had a big run up, but I bag held a lot of it. Like, I did sell it. You know me, Jace. I'll take profit off the table, dude. It's responsible. It's the only way to safeguard yourself. What's the point in starting with $1,000, getting to a $100,000 portfolio, and everything dropping out of it, the ass dropping out of it one day? You don't know what's going to happen. So I like to take a little profit along the way. So yeah, I haven't lost some of the Bitcoin that I was holding, but at a massive profit from where I bought it. And I've covered my expenses on that investment. So regardless of whether Vertcoin ceases to exist or not, I've made money. So that's the position I like to get myself in. Seb Fox says, what about ICX? Do you think it will start trading on BitThumb or some other Korean exchange first? Seb Fox, the founder of Icon, is actually involved with one of the exchanges. I'm not sure if he owns it or he's involved with it. Either way, I would imagine that that's the first exchange it will be listed on. But I think about just every exchange, every major exchange is going to want to get their hands on Icon. I have no doubt that it's going to be a super popular currency. I could be wrong. But let's have a look at the futures market. We haven't looked at that in a while. Futures market for Icon. Good Korean project. A lot of work done before the ICO phase. Strong team. Fingers in a lot of pies. Insurance, banking, universities. The list goes on. So I'm going to have a look now and see if Icon is doing well at futures trading, which I'm only using as an indicator because I've already come up with my price points. I think that Icon, after at least 1 or 2 successful ICOs, I believe they deserve a valuation of at least as high as Neo. And so that's what I'm using as my baseline, to be honest. I know that seems pie in the sky and ambitious, but that's the way I gauge it. I think they've done more real world work. Now we've got $1.09 as the current futures trading. I think it'll be more like a $2 or $3 coin, to be honest. And in the shorter term and in the medium and long term, potentially a lot higher than that, depending on how successful they are. Power Ledger crash course, heard it's pretty cool. Yeah, Power Ledger, we've spoken a little bit about. It's getting a lot more publicity. It's getting a lot of overhyped publicity as well. It's getting a lot of facts that have probably been taken a little bit, been publicised as something they're not, in terms of the Australian government is jumping behind Power Ledger. There are grants available in this country for innovation, and there are criteria to fulfil them, and Power Ledger fulfilled those criteria, so they got an innovation grant. It doesn't mean that the government's putting up Power Ledger signs all over the country. So yeah, my thoughts are crash course. It's a use of the blockchain to decentralize the energy market, which I think is awesome, because I think the centralized energy market has shown its flaws time and time and time and time again, with the electricity increases, the inefficient running of the grid itself, using power sources that the public don't want. Just because we've got an abundance of coal in this country doesn't mean we should be using it. Yeah, there's so I think it can. Yeah, GB Capital says power's overpriced and wait for the dip. Guys, I'm invested in it myself because I'm happy to bag hold it long term. But I think this is long term sort of stuff, guys. Power Ledger don't have a blockchain coming out until 2019 unless that's been updated since last time I read about it. So for me, I thought I'll grab some because it's a good Aussie project. It's a project I believe in. Again, it identifies a real world problem and uses the blockchain solution to overcome that. So I like the idea, but I'm well aware that it's a venture capital stage, and I think that perhaps the valuation, as a lot of these projects are, probably a little bit more based on potential than where the actual current stage of development is at. Power not mineable, right? Couldn't tell you, man. I'd have to have a look. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't think so because I honestly don't know. Crypto Chronicus. More politics than crypto talk at this point, but what do you think of Roger Ver pushing hard to make Bitcoin Cash the real Bitcoin? Oh man, you didn't just do that, did you, Crypto Chronicus? You didn't just put me on a Roger Ver Bitcoin Cash rant, did you? I think it's irresponsible, man, and I think it's ill-considered, and I think it's arrogant. I think it's arrogant to say, no, we know better than the masses, and the masses voted for Bitcoin SegWit, which means Bitcoin is the real Bitcoin. It's all said and done. It's not open for debate. It's not open for Roger to turn around and say, no, this is the real Bitcoin. I don't think one person making that decision is at all what is expected of decentralization. So yeah, that's my opinion. Agent Smith said, laugh out loud, Bcash. Yeah, I just think it's irresponsible. I think it's trading off the popularity of Bitcoin. Yeah, Big CryptoConnect said, I thought the people should be respected for their vote and let it be. Yeah, I think so, man. That's the same opinion I have. Seb Fox said, I heard that that Australia will be named Power Ledger Land by the government. Yeah, that's on the cards. Having a referendum about that. Given the speed in which the Australian government organises anything, that referendum is due for 2057. So looking forward to that if I'm still alive. Yeah, you dumped yours at Bitcoin Cash at 300. That was like dead low, wasn't it? I dumped mine at 600 on the second run up when it was still going up. Crypto Chronicus says if Roger didn't own Bitcoin.com, I'm pretty sure Bcash wouldn't be anywhere near where it is at. I just don't think people are understanding that they're altcoins, they're a fork of Bitcoin that are far less testing and far less history than the Bitcoin core developers. And you know, that's where the value of Bitcoin is. It's in its hashing power, it's in its history, it's in the brilliance of the core team, not in one guy who can get out there and act. Yeah, he probably is a nice guy. I just think what he's doing is irresponsible. I think it's ill-considered. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Bitcoin Cash going to 3,900. I wouldn't be surprised, man. There's a lot of money coming into this economy, and a lot of that money is new money. And for them, they just see that Bitcoin Cash is cheaper and faster, or at the moment, and they go, oh, well, that's better. It's a better Bitcoin because it's right up there, and the market cap must be good, must be fine. It's a blue chip. We can get on that. That's sensible investing. Just because it's a blue chip doesn't mean it's sensible. BitConnect's a good example of that. Bitcoin Cash is another good example of that. Bitcoin Gold is now a further example of that. Sorry, that's my personal opinion. And again, I don't wish anyone to lose any money on those projects. I just think they're heavily overvalued for their stage of development and for the alternative they offer on the true Bitcoin to the economy. That's what the altcoin market is about, offering an alternative to Bitcoin. Altcoin, alternative coin, not Bitcoin copy. Otherwise, it'd be called a copy market. We'd all be talking about investing in the copy market. So can we stop using the Bitcoin prefix? And if you're going to fork, if you're going to do something different, call yourself something different. It's confusing newcomers. It's not good. No one says that Bitcoin has to hold the #1 spot for all time. No one says that. But to actually achieve a flipping where Bitcoin Cash is now adopted as Bitcoin is not going to happen. I just cannot see it happening. The set of circumstances that would have to connect to make that happen, I don't think they're even in Roger Ver's control, as influential as he is in the economy, clearly, by the pump in the price. Agent Smith, I'm not sure whether you're calling me a dirty shithead or Roger Ver, but either way, I agree. Crypto Chronicus, but one thing I've learned, lying is lying, and liars do lots of other things and justify it to themselves. That is okay because they're righteous. Well, BCH just has bigger blocks, right? If the file, if it fills the 2 megabit, it's back to square one, right? Or yeah, Crypto Chronicus, we actually do have a video on this, man. We had Rocky Palumbo, who is a Bitcoin maximalist, in all honesty, and we differ in our opinions there. But he very well explained from a technical standpoint why continued increased block sizes is not a scaling solution going forward to mass adoption, because mass adoption requires 100,000 transactions per second. And I've explained my thoughts on why I think 100,000 transactions per second is actually conservative if we're to make this adopted in cash economies like India and Sri Lanka, because the number of transactions going on per second when you add in cash economies is phenomenal. So yeah, we need to get even higher than 100,000 transactions per second. And I mean, to achieve 100,000 transactions per second, you'd be adding a 1 terabyte. I think it was a 1 terabyte hard drive every 5 hours. But I've got it on the video. We went through it with Rocky. So yeah, I don't think long term it's a scaling solution. I think it appears to be right now. And to the naive and uneducated, they go, well, it's faster and cheaper. So they figured it out. No, they haven't long term. They've figured out a Band-Aid. I call it a band-aid on a bullet wound, because that's what we are experiencing in crypto at the moment. Like the prices are soaring, but it doesn't reflect the actual stage of crypto at the moment in terms of, like, Bitcoin itself has to come up with some scaling solutions if it's going to act as a currency. If it wants to act as a store of wealth, it's probably fine right where it is, to be honest. But to act as a currency, it's going to have to come up with a scaling solution, as are most of the currencies in the economy. So I would rather see a focus on that than pretending, like a focus on a 100,000 transaction per second adoption rate, rather than mucking around with, oh, well, we can do 2 megabit and do it slightly faster and quicker for now. I don't like for now solutions. Let's think longer term than that. Yeah, XRP's got good transaction speeds. It's a good point. Ripple's a good project, Agent Smith. We've talked about that for sure. For sure. I just don't, yeah. This is bankers. I'm not a fan of supporting the banks. Yeah, see, the increased block size is mainly for better mining rewards than anything else. I've heard that argument as well. Despite not being an expert on mining, I've heard that argument put forward enough times. And it's also, if I understand, it's not ASIC resistant, which means it gives the mining community, you know, the established mining community, a massive advantage. Yes, I see a lot of complaining, but people complaining about their fees, which is lies, because I sent BTC for 25 cents if I want. How do you do that, though? What do you mean lies, Crypto Chronicles? Because I don't think it's fair to call it lies, man. I've tried sending it and it's cost me $5. So it's not lies. Maybe it's misinformed. But, you know, this is the problem. I'm able to do a transaction for 25 cents and it's costing me $5 because I don't know some little trick in the economy. This is where we're going to fail to gain mass adoption really quickly, because people don't like that. They don't like to feel like idiots. And they don't feel like they need to know little tricks to move their money in. This is what we're trying to avoid, is the tricks you need to know to avoid losing all your money to the people at the top. I mean, that's what we're all trying to get away from, right? The fiat game. So I don't see how not just having that as a standard transaction fee, why I paid $5 and you paid 20 cents is weird. You just have to wait sometimes, wait longer. But see, to me, that's not a solution, Crypto Chronicus. So it's certainly not a lie saying that I sent it for $5, because I did. As a matter of fact, one of our viewers sent me $1 as a donation for the channel, and it cost him $5 to send it. So the total donation was $6 and I received $1 of it. So it certainly happened to more than just me. So it may not always be true, but it certainly is at times. GB Capital, I've been using Litecoin a lot for transactions. Yeah, I use Ethereum, PIVX, Litecoin to move through the economy. Easiest way. Easiest way. Litecoin and Ethereum mainly because of the availability, but as soon as PIVX becomes available on more exchanges, it's lightning fast and costs 0.001%. I'll be moving PIVX. I remember that guy, $5 BTC, $1 made it. Yeah, yeah, I know, it sucked. I said you should have sent it in PIVX. It would have cost 0.001%. Chinese tactics, which has been played on the other market, manufacturing, phones, cars, etc. Oh yeah. I guess so. All right, let's have a look at the market. We didn't have a whole look at a lot of coins today, but I did manage to make it through an hour despite being hungover. So I'm impressed with myself, even if you're not. Crypto Chronicus said yes, but also look how many large exchanges use legacy addresses, slowing down the network, or slowing the network down. Do you ascribe to the theory that Litecoin trades traditionally at 1 million Satoshi's BTC 87.80, US dollar LTC 87.57? If BTC dives and LTC dives with it, I think there is somewhat of a correlating relationship between coins of the market in the market, and I think the BTC LTC correlation is one of them. However, I think these patterns are going to break. The reason we're seeing these patterns is because it's emerging technology. I said it's actually not reasonable that the entire market dips when BTC dips. You know, like if something happens for BTC that's like really major, it has caused crashes in the entire economy before. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right And I don't think it's reasonable or logical to say, okay, we've got the Bitcoin market and then we've got all these alternatives. And you guys remember when like the whole economy crashed back in like, I don't know, June or something like that. And it all just like right back down to $87 billion market cap. And it was just unreasonable because there were things at that time which were causing Bitcoin to go down, but it wasn't reasonable for the altcoin market to be affected. And the thing that was reasonable was Bitcoin Cash. It was forking. No one knew what to expect. We'd never really been through a fork like this before. Not since more people come into the market, not since Bitcoin hit these sorts of rates, and not with this sort of ferocity where Bitcoin Cash was going to look to overtake Bitcoin as the true Bitcoin. So there was a lot of uncertainty in the market around Bitcoin itself, right? Understandable. No one knew. We hadn't been through this before. We didn't know what to expect. So a lot of uncertainty around Bitcoin, but the whole altcoin market died with it. And to me, that was ridiculous. I kept saying, why is PIVX being affected? We haven't got any forks going on. We're all going in the same direction. Proof of stake, we get zero coin protocol coming up. Well, why is PIVX going down? And PIVX went right down to $1.80 or $1.50. Didn't make any sense to me at all. So I think whilst there is correlating relationships existing between Bitcoin and Litecoin at the moment, I think they'll be broken because each are very much different projects in the economy. So yeah, I think those correlating relationships are simply because of people being uneducated and unaware. A lot of people probably think Litecoin is part of Bitcoin, like it's part of the Bitcoin project. Hey, it's on Coinbase. You got Bitcoin, you got Litecoin. There's only Ethereum's the only other one, so Bitcoin and Litecoin must be related. Litecoin's just the quicker version of Bitcoin. You know, I can see new people thinking that who aren't researched and are happy just to chuck money into anything. There's a lot of silly people in the world. Xiao and I were talking about this the other day, and I was saying how Taylor Swift released a song on YouTube on iTunes accidentally, and it was 30 seconds of static, and she sold 3 million copies in the first day because no one listened to it. They just bought the new Taylor Swift song. 3 million copies of a song that was just static. QSP is creeping up. I think it's getting ready to move. Cool. Thanks, Seb Fox. Crypto Chronicus, never know in crypto land. It's very irrational and hard to predict. Yeah, I agree. This morning, Crypto Grinders said same thing I said on our Discord. He sees no reason for the explosion this weekend. Ether and others, no news, no rumors, just explosion. Yeah, it's a valid point in a way, but it was. I think it was also a lot of confusion and holding for forks and things like that that was actually holding back the altcoin market. So perhaps the altcoin market was undervalued for a long time as the uncertainty drove around, do we hold our Bitcoin for Bitcoin Diamond and Bitcoin Gold and Bitcoin Cash and all these things. So I think the altcoin market has been held back for that and was due for this pump. I was expecting it. I've been calling it for quite a while. So will it sustain? I don't know. I think it depends on individual projects from here, the development work they do, the news they bring out, all that sort of thing. Crypto Chronicus believes that alts are pumping because the big money has a rule to diversify. Right, Pablo's in. Hey, Pablo, coming in late. We're about to leave, but right now we have to just see those as opportunities for some undervalued coins as the alt mature. As the alt mature, that will change. Yeah. Oh, sorry. As the alts mature, that will change. Yes, of course. Leafs clawing back 3-2 for anyone interested. Leafs scored, now only down 3-2. Okay, so Jason, Mark, yes, you're both Canadian. It's very cute that you're both interested in the ice hockey scores. I'm only teasing you guys. Hey, the Ashes is on at the moment for anyone interested in the cricket. Australia's doing quite well. It's actually a pretty even match, actually. Australia-England, probably the biggest stage of Test match cricket in the world. Australia versus England, we play every couple of years. It's been going for over 100 years. Really, really good matches. And it's been a tight battle in the first test. So good luck to Australia for a bit more of a sport update. All right, I'm going to check out. I just wanted to say thanks again to Versus for supporting the Gold Coast Bodyboarding Club, giving me a new board, and to Gold Coast Bodyboarding Club, my family there. It's a fun night last night. Cool little trophies. These are actually made up by Redders at Basics, so giving a shout out to all the bodyboarding crew. But no, that's one of the coolest trophies I've ever got. It's got a stand and everything. I just took it off there for the show. So absolutely shamelessly plug myself. Jay said, for those who want to watch paint dry, cricket is the game. Piss off, Jace. Go back to Canada. Go on, buddy. Go and do curling then, man. Since cricket's so crap, go and do bloody curling. Isn't that Canada's national sport? That's intriguing. Bunch of guys laying on the ice and throwing pebbles down a bloody ice rink. The famous cryptocurrencies. Cryptos makes no sense. Okay, Cash, born of black coin, holds higher cap than black coin for a while now. Yeah, man. It's an interesting world. And welcome. I don't think I've seen you before. Agent Smith is shamelessly shilling his coins. KMD, XRP, BitB, and BitBean. That's right. You're holding the bag of that. And Bitcoin. Yeah, PC Ether. All right, let me just have a quick look at the market, see if it's trending any good before I leave. Looks pretty good. Do a quick update. Check the last hour. See what's happening. And then I'm out. 282.4, so it's gone up because of the fish effect. We do have this more often than not. Massive group of whales behind fish. And when he comes on and starts talking, the crypto economy fires up. And then when I go off, sometimes it dips. It could have something to do with this coinciding with the time that Asia wakes up. Possibly. Don't know if they actually have any effect on crypto though. Are the Asians into crypto? Don't know. Being cheeky as always. All right. Yeah, it's looking good, guys. The last hour's a lot in the green. A lot in the green. Good to see. Some great projects still to invest in. Hey, one that I've been really bullish on that hasn't run up as hard as the others, so I think that's opportunity, is Chainlink. Wait, let me just check it before we go. Not Chaincoin, Chainlink. Down 3.28%. It's actually down over the last 24 hours, but it's just kicked 1% back in the last hour. It has come off lows of like 15, 16 cents and come up a little bit from there to 18 cents. But I think long term, third-party information collection is going to be an important step to making smart contracts compatible with the real world. So that's my personal opinion. I'm going to stealthily move over to Google Hangouts now as I sign out. It's been great speaking to you all again, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow for another crypto conversation and report. Take it easy. Fish out.